is great seeing you here in this next review lesson of the course, and in this video I will review the main topics of lesson 4. This video is the next in the series, and once you complete this video we will continue with a review of lesson 5. What did we see in this lesson? What did I discuss with you in lesson 4? First of all, we looked at some examples of projects, and there are a lot more. We looked at the train station in Antwerp, the dancing house in Prague, and a nice holiday I had many years ago. So these are some examples of projects, and we were discussing what is a project about. And the first thing is the definition of a project. Remember, a temporary endeavor. It is unique, and we create a product, service, or result. This is the definition taken from the PMMaster 7th edition. We also look at the items related to projects, like projects and preparation. We looked at some famous people like Napoleon Bonaparte. We looked at General Dwight D. Eisenhower, and we also looked at Karl von Clausewitz. The next thing we were talking about the difference between projects and processes. Processes are different from projects. We also looked at the project manager and programs. What's the role of the project manager? How does a project manager plays or deals with programs? What are programs? We also look at the reason why we create programs and what is interesting about dealing with programs. One of the items we were talking about was system thinking of the greater good. How do we make all our projects together to be successful? Basically, how do we make a program to be successful? Another very important item was about the power of the program or the project manager. Very important to understand what the project manager can do and what a program manager can do. We also looked at the definition of a program. What is a program? How do we define a program? It's very important to understand what a program is. We looked at some important people like General Eisenhower, Steve Jobs, and Elon Musk, and what it means to be a manager or a leader. What are the differences between the two definitions or types of people? We also looked at the function of a project manager, and we looked at the planning function, the organizing function, the directing function, and finally the controlling function. The next point we were looking at was the project management process, and we have the initiating step, we have the planning step, we have the execute step, we have the monitor and control step, and finally the closing step. And we will, in our next videos, we will link these to our 10-step approach, but that's for another video. We also look at the definition of what is project management, a very important definition to understand what project management is about. Project managers need to understand hard and soft skills. Here you see an overview of the most important soft skills, or the 10 soft skills that are really necessary for a project manager to enable project success and cooperation within the project. We also looked at the hard skills, but these are more technical skills that you as a project manager should understand. We also looked at the benefits of the projects, and we looked at the advantages of project management. We also look at the perceived disadvantages of project management. We look at the benefits for different categories like the management and the project client, for the project itself, for the people working on the project. And basically, we also looked at the scope triangle for a predictive process, a waterfall process as we refer to it, for an agile process, and you see that they are different. The agile scope triangle, we refer to it as an inverted scope triangle. And very important to understand what is creep and gold plating about. And finally, we introduced the concept of the pain curve, which shows you that planning will help you to have a better output of your project. You will reach success in a more organized way when you take the planning seriously. So when you start planning, you see that you have a higher effort in the beginning, but it will compensate later on in the project when you will have less problems. The next thing we are looking at are the 10 organizational structures. We see the simple, the classical, and the special structures. We also link this to the power of the project manager. It's very important to understand as a project manager, what power do you have when dealing with projects? And it's important to understand in which organizational structure you are working. Of course, we love the strong matrix, the projectized organization, and the PMO organizations that are really supporting projects and project managers. This was the overview of the lesson 4, all the things we've seen in lesson 4. And in the next video, we're going to have the review of lesson 5. So this is it for this video. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you and bye-bye.